Welcome, fellow flower people, to Pollinator Garden Fun. My name is Lori, and I garden in upstate New York in Zone 5AB, and I garden for wildlife and pollinators. This is a look at my spring bed. It's in the middle of May right now, and it's just really starting to warm up and get green. So I thought I would showcase this bed. There's some wonderful native plants blooming in here, and a couple non-natives as well. This bed gets dappled sun, mostly in the morning and a tiny bit in the afternoon. It's getting very green right now. This is the back side with the bleeding heart. This is one of my favorite plants. Even though it's not native, I really love this plant. The flowers are just so special. The foliage will stay green for a while, and then about midsummer it will yellow and die back. And over here is the Solomon seal, or the Polygonatum. This is a native plant. It loves the shade, and it does spread. It spreads quite a bit, actually. It spreads by rhizomes, and this patch here started out as 3 flowers, and I've actually already thinned it out. These little tubular flowers are pollinated by bumblebees, if you can believe it. We've had some large queen bumblebees in the yard, and they just pry open the little flowers and hang there and get the pollen. And these will stay green all season. Here's a close-up of the bleeding heart. Again, such an amazing flower. I just can't get over how lovely this flower is. This one also is pollinated by bees. I saw one on there the other day, and I was surprised that it would just go right in there and try to get the pollen out. And here's my Asarum canadense, or Canadian wild ginger. I planted this a couple of years ago as rhizomes to get a nice ground cover for the shade, and this is the first year it's bloomed, and it's really cool. Now, it's called wild ginger, but it's not edible, so I believe it's toxic, but it does have the scent of ginger to it. It spreads very slowly and makes a great ground cover in your shady areas. And next up is Tiarella cordifolia, or foam flower. This is also another shady plant, obviously, as this is the shade bed I'm in. This is called creeping foam flower, and it actually makes a nice ground cover. It will spread over time. And the blooms are quite long lasting on this. It's usually covered with little tiny pollinators as well. And next to that is Polemonium reptans, or Jacob's ladder. Another great plant for shade. Blue flowers are always welcome in the garden. There aren't very many really blue shades of flowers. This will self-seed, and it spreads by rhizomes. It does prefer a bit more moist soil, so I'll have to keep an eye on this, as this isn't a really wet shady bed, but lovely little blue flowers. And next up is Geum triflorum, or Prairie Smoke. This is such an interesting plant. It will have these little pink puffs at the top once the flower heads have died off, and you can see how it's just starting to form those right now, but it has little nodding pink flowers when it first starts to bloom. Again, another shady plant. Grows pretty slow. I've had these for a few years, and they're only just starting to get going. I did try doing them from seed, but they did not survive the winter, even though they did germinate for me. So I'll probably just buy these as plugs in the future. And now for the star of the show is my lady slipper, or Cypripedium, I believe it's pronounced. These are endangered in New York State, and in fact, they're native to the Northeast. And it is illegal to pick them or dig them up on federal or public lands. So that is really discouraged. I was able to purchase these through a native plant nursery, which I'll put a link in the description below, although they only do buys a couple of times a year. I was not sure how well they would do, but I was so pleased after planting them last fall to see these beautiful blooms. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what native plants or spring plants you've got going on right now. And if you have a link to a YouTube channel, let me know. I'd love to see it. Have a great day.